All right, my friends. Oh, that's nice lighting. Look at that. I guess afternoon time is better. Welcome. Well, you step back and not so much. It was a nice thought anyway. We are going to get into a practice of slowing down, of simplicity. There'll be no, complicated poses or transitions, really coming back to foundational basics, which is Taurus energy. Focusing on the ground, steady, um, all the ways in which we can align with the things that we love, all of our simple pleasures. I have my favorite sweatshirt on. It's cozy. I love it. This is like Taurus stuff, right? Our favorite things. Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. That's the feminine planet of beauty and values and all the things that we love and enjoy. So think of that as we move through the practice, because we don't like to be slow, those of us that are in Taurus, especially if we're air signs like I am. But we're conditioned as people to be productive, to burn the candle at both ends, to constantly be doing something. So if you find that in slowing down in the practice, you start to get triggered or annoyed or frustrated, do something that keeps you there that you love. That might be daydream, let the mind wander, go there. Might be a mantra you play with or use. It could be an affirmation, get the mind connected to something positive, things that you're grateful for. Taurus is a time of finding the stillness, finding what we already have, appreciation and joy and love for what we already have, and having that place of connection to gratitude. That's all going to lead us forward into abundance. But it's, a time of cultivating that from sitting and being and enjoying what is already around us. Nature is supporting us in that here, because all of the blossoms are blooming. Nature is becoming alive. And everywhere we look, we can see the beauty of growth. And even though we're not in this place or supported in that for ourselves right now, there's so much doing in the being. There's so much activity in the stillness. So, when you feel like your mind is just like, I want to move. I want to, move with the breath. Feel the breath. And in that non-action, there's plenty of things going on. You can use an affirmation. I have some written here. You probably can't see it, but the ones that I'm working with right now are: I am worthy, I am love, I am at peace, and I am open to receive. So, if the mind starts to go into that frustration because you're doing something different or unfamiliar, you put that to a beneficial, more productive mindset. Now we want to feel the softness and the safety of Taurus energy that will connect us to our self-worth. If we're trying to be in a place of manifestation or creation, but we don't feel worthy of the things that we want, it will never happen. So all of this Taurus energy, pulling in the things that we love, finding the simplest of pleasures. Why is my printer printing something right now? Weird. Oh my God, that's so fucking crazy. Anyway, if we have a hard time connecting to our worthiness, then that's just not going to happen. Oh my God, you scared the crap out of me.
I called you like 4 times.
Oh, now I know who's printing something. Hello, Zoe. Okay.
I said hi.
I'm recording. Love you. She scared the crap out of me. Holy crap. So coming into the Taurus energy of like what we love, what we already have, our most treasured, valued things, helps us feel that we are worth those things. It helps us build our self-esteem and our worthiness, which will lead us into an abundance. So find comfort in your seat. Use enough prop so that your knees are either touching the ground or at least very heavy. You're not using any energy within the hip flexors to hold your knees up. Take a few shoulder rolls and just notice if you're gripping and lifting up, and just let things drop and settle down. Hands palm down on the thighs. You can bring first finger and thumb together if that feels nice for you. And just take a few steady breaths. Feel the ground beneath you and drop your core deep into the earth. It can look like a chained anchor. It can look like light. It can look like anything. Connect deep down into the earth. Feel stable in that connection. And as you get grounded, let your breath expand wide. And notice the earth is always supporting you. Always there, holding you up. Knowing this helps us open our hearts and reminds you that you're always held. Then I want you to think about what abundance means to you. If you had to define it, what would you say? And then in this practice and in this month of Taurus season, be really aware of any negative inner dialogue and meet it with grace and flip it to a positive statement. Focusing on the good, right? Where we have Venus supporting us with this Taurus energy, our values, our worth, all the things that we love. So when you find yourself in a dark, negative place, you have a choice to flip that narrative. Find your coziest, most loving sweatshirt or pillow or blankie. Really wrap yourself up in those things. And then find something of gratitude. And also, reflect upon who you spend your time with. And if you have to spend time with them, and if they're a piece of the negativity, right? If somebody that you have to spend time with all the time, like a boss or a coworker, is always complaining, it's draining. So try to find a way of protecting your energy from that. And if it's somebody you don't have to spend time with, don't spend time with them. We all affect each other. So choose to surround yourself with people who stay in a growth mindset and help you find the positive affirmations and narratives and pieces of gratitude. Let's take the hands to the heart. If you want to set an intention or just let that all wash over you. And let it exhale out from your heart, from your mind, from your being into the universe. And let's come right into standing at the top of the mat. I love blocks at the top of the mat. Give yourself a little marching out. Let me see if my overhead light will help us just a bit. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so give yourself that march, feel the bottoms of your feet, and then let your feet settle hips width apart. Press down into your root, pull up from there, tone the quads, stack the hips on the heels, and inhale the arms out and up. And then exhale, cactus the elbows wide and lift the chest, maybe the gaze, what feels good in the neck. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus, open the chest. 3 more like this. Inhale up. Legs stay toned, hips press back. Exhale, cactus, lifting the heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cactus. One more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cactus. Take a breath in here, open the heart, and then exhale, push forward. You can bend your knees, round your back, and scoop your tail. And then inhale, cactus. So now we're inhaling on the cactus. It's opposite what we were doing. Exhale, round, push. Inhale, pull and open. Exhale, round and push. Inhale, cactus, open. Exhale, round, push. One more time. Inhale, cactus, open. And now exhale, bend the knees to fold. Once your hands grab your blocks to the floor, press your legs straight. Tone the quads, send your weight forward, hips on heels. Tilt the tail more to the sky, lifting your sit bones away from the heels, away from the floor. And feel your connection to the earth. And let it be balanced action of pressing down through the four corners of the feet and lifting up from the arch. Take a breath in, lift your throat, chin into the throat, lengthening the crown straight from the tail, ribs in. Exhale, bend your elbows any amount that doesn't round your back. And then inhale, press straight. Exhale, bend, keeping the spine straight. Inhale, press straight. Exhale, keep the spine in its natural curves, or think of it straight as you exhale. Inhale, arms press straight. One more time, exhale, bend. Inhale, press straight. Keep your spine straight, everything hugged in from all directions. Soften the knees a bit, send your weight to the heels. Inhale, arms out to T. Exhale to each other. Inhale out to T, wings span, open up. Exhale down to each other. Inhale out to T. Where are we wanting to fly in our life, right? Exhale, come on down. Inhale out to T. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale out to T. This exhale, bend the right knee, hand to the block or the floor, and twist from the left side or up into the left side. And then press your left hip back. Feel your heart and crown stretch out of your left hip. And then exhale, bend the left knee, left hand touches down, right leg straight, inhale the right arm up. And feel the T of the arms, the right hip pulling back, chin into the throat, lengthen heart and crown out of your right hip, big breath in. And exhale, come down to center. Press the legs straight, inhale, lengthen your spine, keep that length to exhale and bow inward. Soften the knees, inhale, rise all the way up, hands to prayer, into the heart. Take a moment of reflection, feeling the ground beneath you, the breath flowing through you. Inhale, reach out and up. Soften the knees and exhale, fold in. Hands touch, legs press straight. Inhale, lengthen the spine, keep that length. Exhale, bow. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the left foot back. Bring your blocks to frame up your right foot and crawl your right foot hips width or even wider, left knee off the floor. Find that your blocks are stable. Maybe they go flat. You can also be on the ground. Mine are okay. I have pretty solid blocks on the middle length. Push your left heel into the mat. Pull your left hip back. Notice when my right hip goes back, my left hip comes forward. And then power that left leg strong. Push into your hand and pull the arm bone down into the socket. Right hip pulls back more to twist the right arm up. And we're going to stay here 5 breaths. Right hip pulling back, left shoulder pulling down. Exhale, right hand down. Step left foot forward, right foot back. Find the footing that you like here. They can be wider than hips width. Left heel heavy into the mat, right thigh strong and straight. Left hip pulls back, right hand anchors down. Inhale, left arm up. Low lunge twist, simple shape. Not a whole lot going on, but a lot going on. Keep left hip pulling back, ribs pulling in, right shoulder pulling back. Take 2 more breaths. Release the left hand, put your blocks forward, fingertips to the mat, and step back to plank pose, high push-up. Root through the whole entire palm, or the whole entire hand, and lift the center of the palm. When you lift the center of the palm, feel your shoulder fire up, your chest fire up, and then push the floor away and feel the ribs squeeze in and the tail scoop under. Strong legs, 3 more breaths. You can always tap the knees, come back up. Big toes touch, both hands stay down. Spin to the pinky edge of your right foot and stack the left on top if you can. Push the floor away and lift from your right hip. Spin all the way to the left pinky edge if you can stack your right on top. Lift from your left hip, both hands pushing the floor away. Back to the toes. Step the right foot forward, left knee down, and lunge into the right knee, lifting the chest. You can grab blocks if you want, come up to the thigh. I'm going to keep my fingertips on the floor. You tap into the root of your left knee, right foot, the heaviness and the grounding of your hips. And then what you want to do from that foundation. Your arms can reach up, circle around, move, cow, cat. Right? Tap into the way in which you value this shape and what's going to make you love it. All right, so tuck the left toes, hands to the floor, lift the left knee, lift the hips, switch the feet. Step forward, step back, right? Simple, not complicated. Right knee to the floor, lunge into the left knee. Find a foundation that feels good. My knee's forward of the ankle. It feels great. It can be on top of the ankle. It can be where it feels really good. And then feel the ground, feel the heaviness of the hips. And where do you want to take that? What's going to bring in the sense of love and gratitude for what exists right now for you? Hands to the floor, tuck the right toes, lift the knee, lift the hips, step back to downward facing dog. Anchor through the hands. Take your feet a nice distance away, let the head relax. Push the floor away and feel some movement of the shoulder blades and what happens in the socket of your arm bone there, ball and socket, and then feel a good place. Like, where does it feel really strong and stable, steady, right? Taurus energy. And then soften the knees. Keep that action of pushing down to lift up into your torso, finding a good shoulder girdle position. Then hug the ribs in, tilt the tail up. Legs straight, heels reach back. Don't let that leg straightening heel reach back. Collapse the chest to the floor and flare the ribs forward. Okay? We want to lift up, hold ourselves up, feel the stability that we create. And then lengthen the spine, tilt the tail up, heels back. Unlock the jaw. Maybe wiggle it around. Let the head fall or move side to side. Slow and steady. Doesn't equate easy, right? Pick up the heels, soften the knees, look forward, right foot forward, arms all the way up overhead into high lunge. And then you can feel what foundation, what connection to the earth is going to support you. You can go wide, you can go long, you can go short, but feel stable, facing straight forward. And then we'll do what we did standing. On your inhale, lift up out of the hips through the arms. Exhale, cactus, lean back, tilt the heart to the sky. Inhale, square the ribs to the hips, arms reach up. Exhale, cactus, tilt up. Inhale, stretch up. Stable, strong. Exhale, open. Where are we finding compassion and abundance? One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, open the heart. Inhale, come on up. Spin the heel down. Open the arms to T. Crawl your right foot to meet the left arch. And then maybe you create a different length in your distance of the feet from each other to find, again, the stability and strength in your warrior two pose. Do the arms love being right at the T where we usually have them? You can take up overhead, opposite elbows. You can keep one elbow and take the opposite hand and get a nice tricep stretch. Do that on both sides. Maybe the hands want to be at the hips. Wherever your arms are or whatever they're doing, feel like your shoulder blades are flat on the back and that your hips are feeling stable and open. We'll take one more breath. All right, hands to the hips. Crawl the back foot closer so you're not so taxed out. Crawl the front foot wider. Pick up the back heel, face the front of the mat, and step forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. From your four corners of each foot rooting down, arches lift. Kneecaps lift. Quads tone. Maybe there's a slight little drop of the tail without scooping the pelvis under. And the ribs hugged in. Arms lift, pull back and down. And maybe the arms are straight and alongside the body. Or again, where you love them. Where do you like your arms to be here in Tadasana? Find a point of focus. Realign with your earth connection, your breath, your intention. Maybe here's where you come back to one of those affirmations. I am open to receive. And soften into the knees. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold with a straight spine. Once hands touch, legs press straight. Inhale, create length in your spine. Keep that length as you exhale and bow in deeper. Inhale, arms press straight, looking forward, flat back position. Exhale, step back to plank pose. High push up. Find all of those points. Push into the floor. Pull into your center. Scoop the tail, lengthen through the legs, tone the quads. Huge breath. On your exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Knees can come first, then hips, then chest. Untuck the toes. We're going to take hands alongside the body. You can take right ear to the mat or forehead to the mat. Tone the legs so they're pushing into the big toes, lifting the kneecaps. Keep the feet down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lifting the arm bone. Lift the hands. Palms face the sky. Don't let the shoulder drop as you pulse your hands up further toward the ceiling. Don't let it seesaw. Right, so shoulder blades squeeze in, down the back, hands pulse. We're going to do this for hopefully a minute. You can always rest and come back to it. Try to keep the wrist neutral. Hopefully you can see me at all. I can't even really tell. Halfway there. Your pulse can be slow. Really working the upper back, the back of the heart. One of the weakest places on most of our bodies. From protection, from posture, from our life being in front of us. Maybe an unwillingness to ever reflect back. 5 more. Let the head rest if it's not. Let the arm bones roll down to the floor. And just feel what you feel and breathe. I am worthy. I am enough. I have enough. All right, take a moment Energize your arm bones up from the ground, shoulder blades in and down the back, hands lift. Flip your left ear to the mat or forehead down. Flip your palms to face each other. Don't let the arm bones seesaw. Thumbs down, palms pressed to each other. You can always rest and come back to it. It's not a complicated thing. Doesn't mean it's easy. We can uncomplicate things in our Taurus season. Come back to simplicity and all that we get in that. We're halfway there. You need to shake it out. 5 more. And then rest left ear if you're not already there. Palms up alongside the body. Big breath. Hug into the belly on your inhale. Lift everything you can off the mat. And then soften your effort. Feet come down, hands outside the ribs, lift up to tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a moment to feel what you feel, to feel this inversion. I don't know what that is. Okay. And lift both heels, soften the knees, step the left foot forward, come up to high lunge. Set your feet at a width. You feel stable, strong, and steady. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale, cactus, tilting the heart up. Inhale, ribs come in square, lifting up. Exhale, tilt, open, cactus. 3 more. Tap into the heart energy. What am I grateful for? I have enough. I wasn't counting, so let's just do 1 more for good measure. Inhale it up. Exhale, tilt it open. Inhale, come back up. Right heel spins down, arms to T. And we open into our warrior 2. Check in on the foundation first. Right? You always want to start from the ground up. Finding our stability, the foundation we like. Heel to arch is generally a good place. Hip in line with ankle, a distance we feel our strength. Our arms comfortable here at a T. Maybe we do what we did on the first side. Okay, maybe we do something different. You can eagle wrap, hug yourself, and open. What connects you to the beauty, refined things that you love? All right, let's take the hands to the hips, crawl the back foot closer, left foot wider, pivot to face the front of the mat, high lunge, step forward, Tadasana. From your feet, pull into the hips. From the hips pressing back on the heels, you can let the tail drop a little bit as the lower belly tones. Ribs knit in to sit tall in the heart. Shoulders drop out of the neck pulls back. Revisit your intention, your breath, your grounding cord, your place in this world. All right, let's take a sun salutation. Soften into the knees. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold with a flat back. Hands touch, legs press straight. Inhale, spine straight. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, arms press straight, look forward, flat back. Exhale, step to plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, arms lift, pull back, then down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tabletop. We're going to come right into pigeon, right knee wide of the hip, wide of the wrist, crawling the left leg back. Come up onto fingertips. Look over your left shoulder and let your left leg be straight back from your hip. Ankle neutral. Push into the toenails and then pull into the pelvis. Hug through the midline. Inhale, lift your heart. Hands can crawl back or even forward. And then chin into the throat, ribs into the hips. Lift the tail. Try to tilt the pelvis forward to find neutral spine to come down. You can have elbows on blocks, elbows on the floor, forehead to hands or the mat. Keeping the legs strong as your foundation to move from. What position here? What variation of pigeon do you love? Right? Tap into the things that you love, that you have available to you. Options could be to bring your torso over your right thigh and down, letting the head drop. Arms can be anywhere from there. You can take right arm under left, shoulder to the floor, head on a block. That's the wrong way. Kind of feels good though. I never get it right the first time. Left arm under right, shoulder to the floor, head to the block. Right arm around, grabbing the big toe. The right hip stays down in the twist. You can even keep your hand on the hip or the top of the thigh there, pushing it down. And my legs are toned still, not ever disengaging the root to the ground. Right, so explore what feels good, where you want to stay. And we're going to take 5 more breaths. Slow, steady, fluid breath. I wasn't counting. I have my moonstone on and I was like staring at it and literally got tranced by it. Okay. Hug up into your belly and bring your hands to the mat. We're gonna let the right hip drop down and the left knee bend. The right foot can come closer and the left foot can go wider. But don't let the left foot go wider than the knee or wide where your ball and socket gets uncomfortable, but the knee is somewhat in line with the hip. Right? And then lift and lower your left hip a little bit. How does this feel? I just felt like really something not great in my lower back. Never felt that before. So that's just going to give me feedback. Something's going on there for me. Right? If you want, your right foot can go further forward. It's just going to get more intense. So I like it tucked in tight. I actually feel like my right hip wants to lift and lower. So tap into this general shape. It's simple, but it is complicated. And intuitively move your foundation to make yourself enjoy this a little bit better. Then we're going to take a little twist. So left hand's going to come around to the right knee or even beyond it. Right hand's going to walk back. Left hip's going to lift and come forward. We're going to let the hip come into our twist. And then you decide where the ribs feel good. You can fold to your forearms. You can sit up tall. You can cross your left hand to your right upper arm. You can look to the right. You can find little cow-cat moving a rib cage. And all of these things are going to change what you feel. And I want you to explore, again, to what you love in this aspect of the posture, the shape, and the hips. in relation to the rest of the body. I am at peace. Hug into your belly, come up onto your hands, crawl back around so your hands are near your right foot. We're going to let the left leg crawl back and flex the foot. And you're going to pull the right foot into the midline, sitting on both sit bones. Widen the right knee as much as your hip wants to and flex the left foot. And we're just going to crawl the hands forward. If crawling forward is really rounded, anchor the hands, fingertips back, arm bones pulled back, and just press the floor away, sitting tall. Energize the legs. Again, we're coming into simple things and staying really engaged into the ground. So feel your right baby toes push into the mat. Feel your left toes pulling back. Press into the legs, lift up through the heart. Maybe you hinge forward. Right arm's gonna crawl around and come all the way to the left leg, anywhere it lands. And then give a little pull to twist your ribs to the left. Keep the left toes clicked into the mat. Right toes clicked into the mat, Left hand's gonna push the floor away to sit you a bit taller, just like when we're on our feet. Feel your inhale creates length. You keep that length to exhale over the leg. Maybe you move with your breath. Maybe you change what your arms are doing. You can reach for the foot. Both hands can reach for the shin or the foot. They can be on the ground. Tap into what you love about this shape, the position of your arms, the variation that brings you into the loving place of what can exist in this moment for you. Inhale, let the spine upright itself, head rising last. We're going to get our right foot to the floor, left foot to the floor, roll to face the left side tabletop. Take an inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Left knee wide of the wrist, wide of the hip, right leg crawls back. I'm just gonna flip myself around because I have a slope and I feel like I'm falling downhill. I'd rather be uphill. Click those left toes, look back over the right shoulder, the foot is straight back, ankle is neutral and active. Come up onto fingertips, curl your heart open any amount. Chin comes in, ribs pull back, try to lift the tail, and exhale to fold. Exploring again, just come down for a breath or two, and then decide what variation on this side you want. Do you want it to be the same as the other side? This time it would be, I don't know why I can't figure it out. Left arm, no, it's right arm under left. Left arm wraps around to get the big toe, or anchor the thigh down to twist the left shoulder up. You have a block under your head. You can take your torso just over to the left thigh on top of it and let the head drop. Come back to center. Find your version of pigeon that you love, but keep your legs actively rooting. We're still deepening into our root connection to the earth, helping to feel stable, engaged, supported, strong. I'm going to take 5 more breaths. You really can't see me at all. This sucks. One more breath. Hug into the belly, bring the hands back centered. We're going to sit down into the left hip and pull the right knee straight out to the side. And then you can stretch your left foot forward or tuck it in tighter. Lean forward, lift your left hip, come back down, lift and lower the right hip a couple times. How's this feel? This, I feel certain uncomfortable things in a different place on this side. All right, keep the right hip lifted. Feel your feet and the hips ground you down. Right hand comes to the knee or over the knee. Left hand works back. And then decide if you want to lower. Right hand to left arm. Explore a little cow-cat. Right, take some deep breaths. Let's see if I can rectify this real quickly. Challenge the breath. No, it does nothing. Maybe. No. Oh, found something. A little something. Okay, so we're going to come now. I'm on the wrong side. Lean into your left hand, left hip. The right foot's coming around. And then we're going to open the left knee, right leg straight out to the side. Feel like you're grounded in both sit bones now. Left foot tucked in tight. Point the left toes, anchor into the mat, flex your right foot, crawl forward. Or hands outside the hips, sit tall. What helps you feel length in the spine, open in the heart. Really draw the shoulder blades in and down the back. Find your breath. Hands can crawl you forward if that's right for you. Hug into your belly, push into the floor. We're going to crawl to the right leg. And then left hand can grab the leg and help your twist to the right. If your left knee wants to come forward, let it come forward. Right hand can come around and push you a bit taller. Really flex the right foot, anchor the legs into the mat, and lengthen up into your spine over to the right. And take your time exploring what's this best variation. For the arms, you can take both hands to the foot. Try not to round and collapse. Feel like you're lifting your tail, you're lifting your heart, you're lengthening up from the hips, then to the foot. Take 3 more breaths. Gently, slowly inhale up, head rising last. Just pause, receive. All right, from here we're going to stretch the left leg out to T. My mat's getting all crunched up. All right, so the feet nice and wide, but not overextending yourself. Don't feel too much sensation right on the inside of the knee. We have a muscle that goes, it's pretty superficial, outside of the knee to the pubic bone, gracilis. My body, that's not a happy place in my body. So I know that uncomfortable positioning there. So don't suffer. It doesn't matter how far away your feet are. What matters is you feel enough sensation, but not too much. And it might just feel really good to touch what you feel and help it. But flex the feet and anchor down into the thighs, or the hamstring bellies push into the mat. Feel free to explore more massage. Linear, drawing lines long with the muscle fibers is nice. Short against them is nice. Circular, also nice. Maybe there's some Chipotle pounding it out. Right? Maybe it's really hard for you to sit here and just be upright and you don't have the availability to move your arms and they just really need to be on the ground. Take a moment. Realign your root, lift up through the spine. Exhale might bring you forward. You can grab your legs, big toes, the floor, or again, outside the hips, pushing the floor away. What's going to make you love this shape? The feet can be pretty close together. Maybe they're absolutely close together and it's a different pose altogether. This pose is not great for most bodies. You can always prop up the hips. Sorry, I didn't say that earlier. Grab your folded blanket. Just get the sit bones on the edge to tilt the pubic bone off the edge, tilting the pelvis forward. That's going to help your spine upright itself and potentially fold. I'm going to bring my elbows down to blocks. Digging down into the ground, toning the quads, finding shoulder blades flat on the back, steady, slow breaths. Let the mind come to your affirmations, a mantra if you use one, piece of gratitude, the things that you love, your values, the pleasures that are simple, like chocolate, soft, fuzzy things. I love satin. Satin is one of my favorite materials. It brings me joy. Connect to those simple desires and pleasures that you have every day. Not the overindulgences, right? The simple things. It's very Taurus energy. All right, hug into the belly. If you're folded, come on up. All we're gonna do is wiggle the hips a little bit and just let the legs soften and the heels just gently move closer to each other, letting your stretch soften. Never in this room at this time. Now the sun's coming this way. Take your hands inside your knees and just give them a little bounce, like pull, so your feet come a little closer, even more soft. Then get underneath your knees, lean back, bend your elbows to pull the knees into a bend and bring them feet forward, but still wider than the hips. Let your hands come back behind you, come off the blanket, and just windshield wiper the knees. Slow, 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 side to side. Like painfully slow, like go slower than you can actually imagine moving. Right. Bring your feet to each other. Lay on the back and take a block on either side of your hips. Feet on the mat, knees bent, come lay down. And then roll the pelvis forward, arching the back, and then roll it back, flattening the lower back. Just do little pelvic tilts a couple times. And then find scooped under, flattening the lower back. Pull the shoulder blades down and into each other. Grab your block. Lift your legs. Flex your feet. Hold the block. Squeeze it between palms. Realign that flat lower back. Take a breath in. Exhale, hover your hands overhead, feet forward, only to the amount you keep your lower back glued. Inhale, bring it up. Block in between the feet. Exhale, hover. The inhale can be short and quick. Switching the block again. Exhale can be slow and steady. Inhale up. Exhale, hover. Inhale up. Exhale, hover. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, come up. Release the feet to the floor. Bring that block again next to you and just let the palms come down on the lower belly, helping to ground your energy, and just pause and breathe. What trick in the mind is going to keep you in a happy place here? I'm going to take a twist. So bring your feet and knees together. Cross your right leg over your left. Scoot your hips to the right. And then roll your right shin onto the block. Unless this doesn't land for you. This is like the best thing ever. My left knee is still tucked underneath my right, but my right shin is horizontal to the ground, resting on the block. And then you might move your ribs a bit so that your right shoulder is really heavy. Right arm, open palm anywhere on the mat. Left hand can come onto the right knee. And then send your gaze over the right arm. Feel really heavy through the right ribs, the right chest, the right side of your chest and the shoulder. And you can just maybe see, probably can't see me, but you can take your fingertips and just from the sternum, your fingers can rest in between the ribs. Doesn't really matter, but if you can get your finger pads in between a couple ribs and just push out through the shoulder and like send it down the arm. It's really nice, soft, tender, loving embrace to yourself. It's very Taurus energy. Simple pleasure. Just opening the heart, getting stress out of the right side of your chest. And then let your left arm open out to T. Take a nice deep breath. Let your left foot push into the mat, hug your belly, pick up the knees. Bring your hips to center. Unwrap. Left thigh over right. Scoot your hips to the left. Left shin anchors now onto this block. Horizontal to the floor. Right hand can hug the knee. I'm going to lift my ribs and just bring them into a place that feels more heavy through the left side. Gaze shifts left. Look over the left arm. Open palm. Take some slow breaths. Right hand comes to the left side of the chest. Sternum out. Over the shoulder. Sweep it. Like just push it through. Like you're sending it out the arm. Your fingertips might find little spaces in between the ribs. Just clear it out. It's nice, soft, nurturing, loving kindness to yourself. Right arm extends out to T, open palm. Nice deep breath. Right foot pushes down onto the mat. Knees come up to center. Unwrap, hips to center. Give the knees a squeeze. A little sway side to side, a little massage for your lower back. And then grab the backs of the thighs, let your feet pull you up. And we're going to end in, that's awful. Hello. A supported back bend. So we're going to take our blocks out of the way, take our blanket or a pillow, doesn't matter. If you have a blanket, you're gonna roll it. And we don't want it to be very big, so I'm actually not gonna roll the whole thing up. So I have a roll with some straight blanket. I'm gonna take the roll near my body and the straight blanket away. If you have a pillow, you're just gonna position it underneath the shoulder blades and the lower back so your head and neck come off of it. You can also use blocks for that if you want. And then if you're using this roll like me, you're gonna pin the bottom corners of your shoulder blades at the edge facing your feet, then push into your feet to roll your upper arm, head and neck off the roll. I like cactus arms. They can certainly be straight. So the bottom corner of my shoulder blade is pinned right at the top of that little roll. If the roll feels too big, sit up and unroll it a little bit. If you want it bigger, a bigger back bend, sit up and roll it tighter. Make it bigger. And then I like feet long on the mat, but you can take the knees together. They can just stay wherever. If you want to get really open, feet can come together, knees wide. And if that's not good on the inner thigh, you have your two blocks. You can rest the little tiny edge of your block and the big flat edge against your thigh so it's comfortable. That actually feels really nice. I'm going to stay there. And we'll be here like 3 minutes. So check in. Does anything need to shift, change for comfort? What can you do to make yourself love this position? To feel really supported? To steady the breath? Tap into gratitude. If you've gotten settled and your body has shown you signs of discomfort, maybe your elbows need to be closer to the hips than shoulder height, or in a different position altogether. Right. Always tend to your needs. We have 1 more minute. Can your breath get even slower? Maybe the exhale is much longer than the inhale. You're in feet together, knees wide. Let the feet come back to the mat and the knees come up. Stretch your arms up overhead or over shoulder, and then choose a side to roll onto. Make my block out of the way. Both arms go, both knees go. And then both top arms just gonna push the floor away to come on up to sit. And then we'll find Shavasana. So you can take this blanket that we use, unroll it, and have a little neck support as you come to lay on the back. You might need a little, again, hug in, a little release for the lower back. Start to extend the legs. And as you find stillness and comfort, let the arms go a little bit wide. Let the upper rib feel freedom, not confinement. So your breath stays a little bit more open and broad. I'm going to sit up and get closer because that's where my light is better. But really drop into the ground. Feel that support. Feel the heaviness. The connection to the ground. The stability we get. And then in your mind's eye, I want you to envision a rectangle that fits in the shape of your skull. So it's like literally inside your mind. And let the 4 points of each corner be white light, glowing, bright. And then on your next inhale, connect the top dot to the other. On the exhale, go down. Inhale across. Exhale up. So your breath is connecting the dots. And the connection disappears as you move from one to the other. So we're just creating this rhythm of our breath. The simple connecting of the dots in a very simple geometric shape, connecting to white light. And this box breath, notice it's calming, it's keeping you present, it's simple, and it's helping you be slow in what you're doing. Either we're going to layer this, or you can let go of the box altogether. But you can keep the box going if you want to layer the second breath exercise on top. So your inhale is going to be for the count of 4, and the exhale 8. If 8 feels too long, make it 6, but definitely longer than the inhale. So you can layer this to the box. Right? Wherever you are in your breath cycle, on the next inhale, count to 4. Exhale, the count of 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Let your breath return to a natural cadence. And I'm going to leave you here in Shavasana for as long as you want to be here. Just melt into the ground. Connect to Mother Earth, your breath, and the simple pleasures in life. Namaste.